My name is Jonathan, and I'm here to tell you guys about what we've learned in our past season of FTC and building our robot. So first of all, you have to understand the rules of your robot, like what you can build, what you can't build, what materials you can use and what you cannot use, and you can find those in the 2 game manuals on First Inspires. And there's just some general questions like, could it damage or disable another robot? Could it damage the playing field? Could it injure a participant or volunteer? Is there already a rule that prohibits this? And if everybody did this, would the game be impossible? So if your robot can do the first thing, then you'll immediately be disqualified and kicked out of the tournament, because this is supposed to be a safe event, not dangerous. And there's a separate test called the wiggle test to test if your robot can actually damage the playing field or not. And yeah, there's already a rule that prohibits this. And if everybody did this, gameplay would be dangerous and not very fun and easy. So you have to know the maximum starting size, in which before a match starts, your robot has to be able to fit in an 18-inch cubed box. But can expand afterwards when the match starts. And there's a list for what you can use and what you cannot use on your robot. So some more broad categories of what you can't use are liquids, animal-based products, pneumatics, and sharp corners and edges like knives or stuff, and anything that can electrically ground your robot to the ground. And the robot inspection checklist has the full list of what you can and cannot use. So in Michigan, you have to use this kit called the Tetrix kit, but in other states you can use something else called Matrix, but you can't use. So we also ordered parts from these 3: Tetrix, Modern Robotics, and Andy Mark, but you can't use everything from these 3 companies. And if you want to know what you can and cannot use, you can contact First in Michigan and they'll answer your questions. So making a decision. So last year we didn't do all the tasks because we were a rookie team and we didn't have the building skills or the programming skills to do the hardest of the tasks, but we tried to finish the tasks we could do as efficient as possible. And we used a pug matrix to write down the tasks, and then our ideas and designs of how to do them, and then drew them out and voted as a team which design we should use. We also drew out the designs for our lifter and shooter to launch the particles, and then wrote out the pros and cons on a chart and decided as a team which one would be the best. And this is a pushbot guide which is created by First and is found on their website, which is basically like a little practice of building Tetrix. I'm sure you guys could probably use it as a rookie team. And our robot's base is actually made out of that, and yeah. So to start from scratch, you want to build it by yourself, make your own design instead of just going online and spending 3-4 hours finding a PDF to copy off, because you only have a limited amount of time before a competition comes around the corner. So this is our shooter. We used the one with wheels because it's the most efficient, and we started off with these wheels, the standard Tetrix ones that came with the set, but we ended up using stealth wheels that we bought from Andy Mark because they had more friction, and we went to the robot garage in Birmingham to test it out. And this is our lifter. We bought tank treads from Tetrix, which at first we used these plates to space out the balls, but we just put rubber over the whole thing, so you didn't have to have like a certain place the ball had to go. See, and over there we put rubber bands on the standard Tetrix kit wheels to get more friction, but still didn't work, and yeah. So here, those are the stealth wheels we use. There are 3 different types. There's blue, which is solid rubber, has the most friction. There's gray, which is I think 50-50 soft and hard rubber. And then black, which is fully soft and has the least friction. And for our collector, we took surgical tubing, which I think is like tubing for surgeries, and just tied it to a custom axle, which is bought on Tetrix's website. And then we made a funnel out of cardboard, which came from a shoebox, and bought aluminum and then took a blade and then just like cut a frame out for it to direct our particles into the lifter. And this is our first design to push the beacons. We started out with 2 separate pushers to attach to servos, but one big pusher made out of, what do you call it? The stuff that you put under chairs to prevent it from scratching the floor. Oh no, but still, household appliances can also be used for your robot, not just metal and kits. Sure. And this is the wiring. So everything's connected to something else. Like for example, the motors on the robot are connected to something called a core legacy module, which is connected to that big thing over there called the core power distribution module, which is connected to the battery, and the phone is also connected to the distribution module. So what it does is basically the distribution module takes power from the battery and then distributes it to where it needs to go so your robot can actually move. And you want to have a secure and safe wiring so your robot doesn't just like power off or stop working in the middle of a match. And you see over there, when we started off, the wiring was kind of loose, so we grabbed a bunch of duct tape and just taped it to the metal. And do you guys know what gear ratio is? Anybody? Not Charlie? Oh, okay then.
You can explain it.
Okay. Okay, I'll just...
Smaller gears have to spin faster to spin larger gears.
Something like that. So basically, gear ratio is something you can use to transfer speed or power from a motor to increase it. Like for example, if you take an 80 tooth gear and run it into a 40 tooth gear, you'll get a gear ratio of 2 to 1 because 80 divided by 40 is 2. But vice versa, if you run it a 40 tooth gear into an 80 tooth gear, you'll get a 1 to 2 ratio. So a 2 to 1 ratio, or if the first number is greater than the second number, it will increase your speed of your motor output. But if the first number is smaller than it, it will increase your torque output. And the motors we got from the Tetris kit weren't powerful enough, and we were about to buy another motor, but like I said earlier, there's certain things that you can't use, and so we just grabbed a bunch of gears, put it together, and put up a gear ratio of 9 to 1 to be able to have enough speed. And we spent a lot of our time testing for our hardware. Like at first we started off testing our shooter. We just stationed it in front of the center vortex and just activated it and just pushed particles through it. And you want to have a checklist so you can look out for what you want. You have to look out for what you want to be able to accomplish during your testing. And after you test, there will always be ways to improve. So here we took apart the whole robot and rebuilt it after finding a bunch of errors and flaws. So that's the cycle, kind of what Ethan had a picture of. It goes build, test, and then if there are any problems, you refine the design, tear it down, and then rebuild it, and then test it again. And this is documentation. So you want that break again? What's a projector?
This is the same.
Thanks,
Yeah, it's more fun than programming. So if you have the opportunity, try to get a job as builder. It's biased, I'm a builder, so it's coming from my opinion. Yeah, it is. No, it's not. No, it's not easier. It's of course not easier. Of course not easier.
So you know you get a lot of blisters.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh my god.
Since our time here, do you want to talk about how set up our team, the programming team?
So our programming team was Ethan, Derek, and Alex. Alex isn't here right now. And the building team was me, Jessica, and Angela. And Shrisha kind of did both. Like she helped out whenever she could and wherever she could.
So how does the team coordinate? Do you have problems with each other?
No.
Do you like each other or you?
No.
No.
Hey, we don't hate. We don't.
Each other.
This thing is broken.
That's our robot.
Hey, what are you doing? I have a mouse.
Angela, no, that's just
Duplicate it.
everybody else.
Duplicate it.
Don't worry, we still love you.
This thing is broken.
It's beautiful.
Please stand by for
Talk
technical.
about the robot. Technical difficulties. Please stand by. Let's talk about the
I didn't do anything that time. How about we answer questions right now? Anybody have any questions?
Yeah.
Parents, students, mentors? Anybody? Come on, don't be shy.
Just do some.
Only
They don't have that.
Oh, okay. You guys don't seem very Okay, Charlie.
Did you recreate a model of the testing of the competition for a stadium?
We wait, yeah.
We bought the field, which you should do because then you can test it on the real field. And then basically we put everything where we thought it would be, and then we
I have
would
it now.
test on both alliances, blue and red, so we could have
Run it again.
So we could have a general basis of what's going to happen during the competition.
Yeah, it works again. Okay.
anyone more questions?
So, every team is required an engineering notebook to document what they've done over their journey and to show to the judges and get a chance to win the Think Award. So we got the Think Award because first of all, we started off preparing for FLL instead of FTC, and the judges just thought we did really good at that tournament, so the judges thought that and we also documented really well, so that's why it's important to have good documenting skills. And it also shows that your parents didn't do everything for you and you guys just sat around doing nothing, and that the kids actually did something. So does anybody have any questions? Okay, yes?
So when you talk about the teacher and parents' involvement, and I don't know how the judge will actually find out what was the level of help you received during the design, testing, redesign, rebuilding. Do you actually have
When we need it.
any idea how you should really make sure that all these things were done by you, or is it allowed for your coach to play a role in this redesign and rebuilding and testing process?
I actually don't know if that's legal or not. I'm pretty sure it's not, because FTC is supposed to be for middle schoolers, not adults, and yeah. So if you don't want to make the judges think that your parents did everything, you want to document it by yourself and not have your parents tell you what to document and what to do.
Yeah, they have at the competition, you have to go through the notebook. There's a period where the team presents.
Oh yeah, sure, pass it around. You do?
Yeah, they have
Is that just sarcasm? Is that sarcasm or is that real?
Most of it about it. You looked at that picture that was on the slide before this.